Hi, how you doing? This is Derek with Hi-Fi Resale Shop. I sell on eBay. I tell everybody what I sold over the weekend. I've been doing this for like 18 years. It takes a long time to get to the level at which I'm at, which I'm not even full time and making a living at this. It's just a part-time thing we do to make money to add to what my wife is making. I'm a stay-at-home dad. Otherwise, take care of my four children and make sure they get what they need, homeschooling wise, and also like driving them around to wherever they need to go. But anyway, we sold 14 things this weekend, and I sold something right as I turned on the camera. So there's 15 things to ship today, and we'll show you what those things are so you can look for them out when you're out checking out garage sales and possibly flip them on eBay for a profit. Um, let's go to that screen and see. We'll start on Friday, stuff that's sold on Friday. So the first thing that's sold, and I think it's because they're in the NBA Finals, but this autographed picture of Nick Collison. He played for the Kansas Jayhawks and then the Oklahoma City Thunder. And this 8x10 picture signed sold for $12.99 plus shipping on top. And that came out of a sports memorabilia lot that I got kind of when I started this channel about 2 years ago. So you can go back and see that on a previous video. It's going to be one of the first 5 or 6 videos that I did way back then. Most of the stuff from that sports memorabilia lot is gone at this point. There's some random stuff sticking around, like I have this Tom Seaver statue. It's from Sports Impressions. I think the last I saw it, it was up for like $75. But it seems to not be the price to sell it at because it's not selling. Anybody who is really into Tom Seaver is really older at this point. So there's not going to be a huge demand for it. I mean, the audience for that stuff is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking as people get older and older and older. So, trying to think of anything else that was in that lot. There might be some Cardinal stuff that might still be in that lot for sale, but the majority of it has been sold off, and nothing's coming to mind. A couple other autograph pictures, but I can't think of who they were off the top of my head. But that's that. So, Nick Collison. The next thing that sold was also sports related, and this came from like the initial thing, what do you say, auction, eBay auction that started this eBay career that I have, or what I've been doing on eBay. So, sold some stuff for a lady way, way, way back in the day. We're talking 12 years ago. My wife and I were just newly married, and we were doing this sports auction for this lady, Karen, and we ended up making her a bunch of money. But that after like 3 years, 2 years of doing it, because it took a long time, and I was still working full time when I started this. It's what spurred us on to just try and do this full time, way back when. But this is one of the things left over from it. I have a bin, and it's got all this stuff that never got listed, and I set this book aside because I'm a Bears fan, very big into it. Used to be. Now I could probably not even name 3 people that are on the Bears, but Used to be really, really big into it. Considered myself like a historian for the Bears. Like, I knew a lot of history about the Bears. But anyway, this was one of the things I was keeping for myself, and I decided to let it go. So I put it up for sale, and it is this book, Halas by Halas. It's a biography of George Halas. It's from 1979. It's a hardcover, and inside on the first page is autograph of George Halas. So I don't know exactly when George Halas passed away, but his daughter, who was the majority owner of the Bears, or one of the last majority owners of the Bears, she just passed away. So I don't know what's going to happen with the Bears. I'm sure all the kids will want to get their money out of it, and they probably won't have anything to do with the Bears anymore. But Virginia McCaskey passed away like last year. So that's everything. That's a lot of words to be said about that. But this Halas on Halas book with the autograph inside, not authenticated or anything, but I know where it came from, so I know it's real. The person worked for the Bears in like 1966, 67, 68, 70. He worked for the Bears for several years. He was actually friends with Dick Butkus. So this book sold for $101.75. So a really good sale there on Friday. One of the other keynote things that we sold in that auction that we did for that lady was a helmet. It was one of two helmets that Dick Butkus owned when he played. He had a practice helmet. He had a game helmet. Somebody had the practice helmet, but the game helmet was a white helmet. No, we had the practice helmet. Somebody else has the game helmet. It might be at the Hall of Fame or something. But the white helmet with a blue C on it. Couldn't figure out what it was. Put it up for auction. It was signed from Dick Butkus to Dick Butkus because the guy who was his buddy, who I got all the stuff from his girlfriend, they were friends, and he won it in a poker game supposedly, and so he signed it from him to him, and then gave him the helmet, and so I didn't know what it was exactly. I just knew it was a Dick Butkus signature. So we put it up at an auction, and we could add to it, but we couldn't add money to it. We couldn't change the starting price. We couldn't do any of that stuff. Once it's bid on, then the ball is rolling, and you can't undo what you've done. So we put it up, I think, for $50, and that ended up going for like $4,000 or something like that. I can't really recall exactly what the number was on it at the end. It was so long ago, but it was a really, really big amount. We had one other item from that person's lot of sports memorabilia that sold for more, and it was an authentic sand knit 1960s. I think it was the Minnesota Vikings jersey, and that was at Christmas time. I mean, these two people wanted it, and they bid each other on it, and that thing went for like $7,000. If it wasn't Christmas, and I wouldn't have found those two exact people who were really hot for that one player. And he was like a Pro Bowler once or something like that. So, but he left that jersey in the visiting locker room, and the person who I was selling the stuff, he worked in the locker room, so he just grabbed everything that was left over. So Anyway, we sold that jersey. We sold it for like $7,000 or whatever. But anyway, that is kind of the beginning. That's all the beginnings of High Five Resale Shop. After that kind of stuff, the last thing we sold were these old vintage T-shirts. They were stinky. They smelled like grandma's basement. They had stains on them, some of them, and I didn't want to put them up, but it was the last thing to really do. I mean, there was a box hidden somewhere that I have now, but they were sitting there, and I started listing them, and they were going for $50 a piece. I mean, 1984 Bears shirts and Rose Bowl shirts from 1983 and 84, and 1985 Bears championship shirts and all that stuff, Chicago Sting shirts and stuff. These things were going for $50 a pop, and I was like blown away. I was like, whoa. I know that the vintage guy out of Canada, I think he bought several of them just because they were at such a decent price. He probably resold them. I can't remember his name, P for Paul or something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, I remember them buying a few of the shirts because they were at such a reasonable price. But to me, $50 a shirt was like blown away. I didn't know vintage shirts went for that, hundreds of dollars. So that was that. And like one of the things I'll be listing later this week or next week is this this like homemade report thing. It's from the 1985 Pro Bowl, and then each of these pages has a homemade glossary or whatever, index, but all these pages have people's signatures on them, different people, and I'll try and divide them up. I may or may not divide them up. I don't know. So there's a Montana autograph in here. There's a Walter Payton autograph. And Lawrence Taylor is a big one in here. But those are probably the three biggest names in here. Ozzie Newsome. So Mike Singletary, Eric Dickerson's in here. Lester Hayes. So a lot of Hall of Famers in there. I'll be listing that later. But I found that in that box, just sitting around, taking up space. Anyway, Hallis on Hallis 101.75. The next item that sold wasn't so exciting. It was, they're all exciting because, you know, you want to sell something. Everybody wants to sell it and get rid of it. This had little to no cost. This came out of a storage locker, so this is pennies. I still have one of these available. This is a Isabel Maternity Blue with pink floral shift dress, small, new with tags, sold for $6.29 plus shipping on top. I've had that probably close to 2 years. My mother-in-law bought a storage locker of somebody's store that went out of business, like a little boutique, and they were buying like from a pallet store. They were buying new items with tags and then putting them in their store. Too much overhead for a business plan like that. It's never going to work. So we had a bunch of new stuff and we sold it. It's pennies on the dollar for us, and $6.29 we made. So it's something. It's about as much as you make at a garage sale or whatever. This is a little mouse hat and pair of diaper cover, so you could take pictures with your baby. And this I've had for a while. It's new with tags, and that sold for $5 plus shipping on top. I don't remember where I got that from exactly. The next thing came out of the Boyd's Bears consignment sale. And it's this calendar, Boyd's Bears 2000 calendar. And that's sold for $8 plus shipping on top. I put on Facebook Marketplace the whole lot of Boyd's Bears. I probably need to go renew that listing, but I put the whole lot up there for sale. I think I was asking $800 for all of them. There's a lot there, but probably lower the price. I'm trying to get out of that consignment sale, be done with it. It's been going on for a long time, ever since we moved here to Missouri, which is coming up on 8 or 9 years. So hello, I have a little visitor over there. I don't know if you saw that head pop in. 3 kids home today. One's at camp. We took her to camp this morning. Dropped her off. Say hi.
Hi.
This is Waverly. She's cute. So this is the next thing that sold. I listed it probably last week and it sold. So this company you might want to keep an eye for out when you're thrifting. It's called Crew, KR3W. And this one's just gray with pink and blue checks. It's a men's dress shirt. Like I said, I put it up sometime last week in midweek, and it sold on Friday, and it sold for the full price, which was $19.99 plus shipping on top. The next item that sold was a CD. This CD is from Kendra Smith, and it is a promotional copy. 5 Ways of Disappearing. So if you can see the stamp down here, it says promotional copy. So I put that in the listing so they wouldn't be surprised, even though the pictures have it in there. This sold for $4.99 plus shipping on top. The next item that sold is like the sheer Torrid blouse. It's got skulls on it, and that's why I put it up. It's got these little skull crossbones on it. Jolly Rogers on it. It's sheer, and it sold for $7.99 plus shipping on top. That is a Torrid size 3. They have their own sizing system. I don't know if I have the next item because I might have left it in storage. Hold on a second and I'll be right back. Okay, so the next thing that sold was a vintage NFL San Diego Chargers 3-inch round sticker window decal. It's old new stock, and they look like that. They also came from that sports memorabilia auction way back when. The next item that sold after that was a CD called Rachel's Music for Egon Schiele. So it looks like that. Indie rock, folk. It says indie rock folk, and $3 plus shipping on top. The next item is right here, and it is a Christmas ornament, a grilled cheese glass ornament that we bought from Altered State after their Christmas, their after Christmas sale. I think I have 6 more available, but this sold for $16.99 plus shipping on top. It's a pretty good deal for a pretty good price for selling a glass grilled cheese. The next item that sold was these shorts, these old navy pink shorts. They're probably vintage. I don't know if I can see on the tag what year they were made. Oh, they're from They're 20 years old. These are from the summer of '04. So these are vintage. These sold for $5.99 plus shipping on top. There was no word vintage in the title, so they would have never known. But somebody got a cool pair of shorts. Those were size large. Whew. The next item is this PPLA black and white ombre stone fringe shirt. It's a small. And this sold for $8.99 plus shipping on top. I'm gonna have to go get another item because it just sold right before we started. But this is the second last item. It's a brand new Kansas City Royals, blue and white, Major League Baseball hat. It's a snapback. And it's got all the tags still on it, stickers. This sold for $12.60. I know I got that from a TJ Maxx or a Marshalls, but that was before I was like jotting down what I had paid for them. I kept track of like the receipts and stuff, but I didn't at that time put it in the SKU. The special SKU is where I put all my extra information. I wasn't doing that at that point. Let me go get the last thing that sold. Okay, and the last thing that sold was this American Eagle hoodie. It's got the applique on the front. It's a small women's and sold for $9.99 plus shipping on top. Okay, so that's everything that's sold. I thought what I could do today to talk about is how I go about buying storage lockers. So I'm going to flip the camera around and show you my screen. Okay. So I go to storagetreasures.com, and I have no problem telling everybody how to do this because there is no reason to kind of hoard anything. There's plenty of stuff out there for everybody. Yes, there's competition, but you also have to do it the right way or you're going to lose money on it anyway. So I really don't have any problem showing anybody anything. So let's see here. Okay. So right here is a picture of the unit. I only put in my zip code and typed in 100 miles around. I probably should lower that to 50. So then I just click for it to search in my area. And so we have one right here. Boom. It's up to $50 already. I don't know why people bid on these when it's not actually like the last, hour or, whatever. But anyway, they do just to make themselves known that they're interested in it. There's several. They got 6 days till it's coming. The auction's ending, so you could look through them. So what I usually do, and I think I've looked at this one already. This one seems interesting to me. So I usually count up what I can see in the picture that is valuable, and then I'll base what I'm going to bid on it from that, from the pictures. So I'm not going to overreach or overstep what's in the picture, because sometimes you can't make out anything, and then people start putting values on boxes. Like if you wanted to say that whatever's in a box is worth $10, okay, I can live with that kind of thing, but I wouldn't do much more than that because you never know what's inside it. It could be just garbage. So, and then you just have to throw it out. So what can we see here? We can see like a stroller here. and then this counter fry machine, so you can cook fries in that. I think there's a Christmas tree up here, and there's a bag over here. This looks like a bed or a TV wall mounts. I'm not sure what this stuff right here is. Yeah, there's some chairs and a table, and there's a mattress in the back, which isn't look too dirty, but you're not going to make much of anything off of a mattress. So even if it's the best thing in the world. We can zoom in a little bit on this. What does this box say? CenturyLink. So this is probably just a box they should have given back to the cable company in there. There could be something else in there, but we'll just assume what's supposed to be in there is in there. Let's go up here. What's in this box? So it looks like that might be a puzzle or something in there. Maybe like a bottle of lotion right there. There's some kind of toy back here. This purple thing. And there's a briefcase right here. It looks like 4 chairs for a dining room table. And you really can't see anything in these boxes. There's no writing on them, so although you can't take the writing for what it is. Here's some kind of a case here, but I doubt there's anything in it. There's some ammo here, so maybe that is a gun case, but it probably doesn't have a gun in it. That picture there, actually, that's what they're trying to show you there. I think I see some bed rails back there. TVs right there. Teddy bear. Here's the table probably back here. And then there's a RC car up on the top. There's like a deer Christmas thing. So this might be the Christmas stuff. And obviously there's a stroller right here. Wonder if it's all there. So I don't see a brand name on there anywhere. But it looks like a decent stroller. And it looks like Christmas decorations in here because it looks like a stocking. So this might all be Christmas decorations over here. And then there were the 3 other boxes on the other side here. So let's go look at this one here. So you got this little table here that this bin is sitting on. And then maybe there's a crib in there or something, because this type of metal meshing is usually underneath cribs. So there might be a crib in there because they are the gray slats behind it. So there might be a whole crib in there. That would be something that would be sellable if it's in good condition. You got a little table here. That's a $5 table that you could sell at a garage sale. So I think it's a gray crib. So you can see this part here, the headboard of the crib, and then back here is 2 more rails, and then there were rails there. So either it's a toddler bed at this point or a crib, depending on if all the parts are there. And then maybe this mattress is a toddler thingamabobber. Let's see if they got a better picture. It looks pretty big, so I don't know. I think that's definitely like a queen size or something, kind of. But anyway, counting all that stuff up, and I go back out to the beginning where we started. So okay, so it's at $40. I would probably spend anywhere under 150 to $200 on that unit. There's one other thing I want to see about it, and that's if it's a manager special, which I don't think it is. It's a lien unit, which means they haven't paid their rent on that unit and they're losing it. What you want to look out for are manager specials. Let me see if we can find one. Take out the lien units. And let's see. Manager units, okay, so there's none to show you. So what a manager unit is they take stuff that's left over from storage lockers, and the managers will take it and dump it all in one storage locker and then sell off that entire storage locker. And it's bits and pieces from other storage people who left things. So conceivably, it's already been gone through, so most of it's probably trash. If somebody wanted it, the manager has the discretion. They could give it to anybody they wanted to. So I tend to stay away from those. There tend to be a lot of trash. That storage locker that I showed you, I'm interested in. There's certainly some money in there. I don't know if, I would do a garage sale after I bought several of them, and I don't know if just that unit alone, I don't think I could do a garage sale after I bought that because there's not enough stuff in there. So I might have to buy another locker just to get a bunch more household items that people might be interested in buying. So that's what I do. So if you're bidding on it and it costs you $150, you win it for $150. Just know that you're going to end up having to have more money available to you just to go get it, because almost all of them charge $100 clean out fee. Then there's taxes on buying it. So you spend $150. There's another $10 to $15 in taxes on that to purchase, to convenience fees and blah, 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 blah. So just know that you have to have a little bit more money available than just the $150 that you're going to be bidding on. There's probably going to be a $100 clean out fee, which you give to the storage place to clean it out. And then when you're done, you can get your $100 back as a deposit. So some people like to, what I would do now is I would just load everything in my truck. I have a big 17-foot U-Haul moving truck. I will put everything in there, go get my $100 back, take it back to my house, and I would, if I was going to film it and put it on YouTube, I would film it by my house. I wouldn't take the time to do it at the storage locker. I've done it before. You can do it that way. You just end up having to come back another day to clean it out because it takes a whole day to film it and whatnot. So that's it. If you have any questions about buying storage lockers, or I'd love to answer them in the chat. So just send me a note in the comments, and I'd love to answer whatever questions you may have. The last time I did 2 storage lockers, one was great, and one was without knowing it, was the best, one of the best lockers I've had in the last 3 years, and that is because it had really nice vintage clothes in it, Nike stuff. So, excuse me. So that was really good. And somebody put in the comments, and I still remember it, because it wasn't very nice, but I took it to heart. And somebody wrote, "It looks like a lot of hot garbage," and it was. But there was, in that unit, there were clothes in there that I am still selling to this day, and I have made 10 times what I spent on that unit. One of them I think I bought for $25, and the other one I bought for $45. So big win on those two lockers, even though it was a little bit of work, and it was a little bit of trash that we had to take. But I love doing it. It's a great way of getting stuff you normally don't see at garage sales. If you have any questions, comment down below. Let somebody know about the channel so they can subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And we will see you next time. Remember, Jesus loves you, wants to have a relationship with you. And always, when you find that really cool item at the garage sale, always give yourself a self high five. See you next time.